All right, you have Chapter 5, Test Form 1. This is going to be our practice test for Chapter 5. I have the problem circled that you need to do on the second page. I have a couple starred that are going to be extra practice if you want them, but you only have to do the ones that are circled. So we're going to start with number 5. I already have that written down. 2m plus 2 equals 4m. So we have a variable on both sides we're trying to solve. So we only have 2m's on this side, so it's easier to take those away because we have more on this side. So when I subtract that, notice I'm writing the same thing on both sides. That's required. I had 2m, took away 2m. That leaves me with just the 2. 4m minus 2m just gives me 2m. Now I have 2m's, I only want 1, so I'm going to divide that into 2 groups. Divide this side into 2 groups. I've written the same thing on both sides. M equals 1. So on my answer key, letter B is 1. So I'm going to write that. Okay, number 6, 8 plus 3x equals 29 plus 2x. 8 plus, I'm just making sure, plus 3x equals 29 plus 2x. Okay, now I have x variables on both sides, x here, x here. I only have 2 on this side and I have 3 on that side. So I'm going to take away the smaller number of x's. I have 2 to take away on both sides, writing the same thing again. So I've taken away my 2x, 29. Here, when I have 3 of them, 3 x's, and I only take away 2, I'm just going to have 1 x left. Now, I still have that being added to 8, even though they're in reverse order, that does not matter. So now I have x, 8 has been added to it, and I have 29, so I need to take away the 8 that has been added. That will just leave me with x on this side, and then I had 29 minus 8, 1 and 2, x equals 21. So on our answer sheet, letter F is 21. So I'm going to fill that in. Okay. Number 7, making sure you can see. Sorry, my chair's a little squeaky. So sorry about that. Okay, I have 2r times r plus 5 in parentheses equals 22r. So the first thing I need to do with this, I'm just going to draw a line up here just so we don't have any confusion visually. Okay, the first thing I need to do is work on this side a little bit before I can do anything. So I'm going to just use I'll just use a pencil real quick. I have 2, I'm going to multiply it by r and by 5. So 2 times r is 2r. 2 times 5 is 10. This is a plus 5, so it would be a plus 10, positive 5, equals 22r. Now I have 2 over here and 22 over here, so I want to take away the smaller number just to make myself have an easier job. I've written same thing on both sides. I'm subtracting that, which leaves me with 0 r's. I have 10 on this side left. I had 22 r's, I took away 2. Now I have 20 of them, 20 r's. Now I have 20 groups of 20 r's, out on my table. I don't want to have that many. I only want 1. So I'm going to divide by 20, both sides. Okay, if I had 20 divided by 20, just cancels out. I'm just left with r. On this side, I have 10 divided by 20. So you can think of it in a few different ways. If I divide by 10 over 10, sorry, that was supposed to be a division, then I just have 1 over 2. Or you could think if I just realize I can divide them both by 10 kind of visually, just cross that out, and it would be 1 over 2. You can only do that in certain cases. Don't get the wrong idea. So r equals 1/2. On my answer sheet, letter B is 1/2, so that's my answer. Okay, number 8. Sorry, it's kind of... Okay. 2 times 9s plus 3 in parentheses equals 6 times 3s plus 1 in parentheses. So just like over here, I have to kind of work on both sides. So once again, just to remind us of the steps, I'm going to be distributing the distributive property, multiplying this by both of the things inside of it, okay? So, 2 times 8, I'm sorry, 2, I almost said the answer. 2 times 9s is going to be 18s. It means I have 9 s's, and I'm going to multiply that by 2, which would give me 18 of them. 2 times 3, positive 3, is going to be positive 6. On this side, 6 times 3s is going to be 18s. Oh, this is a tricky one. I didn't realize that. 18s, 6 times 6 is, 6 times 1, excuse me, is 6. So we have, basically, when you see that both sides are the same, you realize it's going to be kind of a tricky answer. So let's just talk about what it's going to be. We're not going to have one like this on the test, so don't worry about it. 6 minus 6 is just going to be 0 on both, you get rid of that on both sides. 18s equals 18s. When we see that, we know we want to divide it into 18 groups. And so we're just left with s on both sides. Instead of trying to get rid of it, we just realize if s equals s, then s can be any number I want. If I say s is 17, 17 equals 17. If I say s equals 100, 100 equals 100. So on your answer sheet, number 8, H says all numbers. So that means when you have just the variable equals the variable, any number will work. It doesn't matter, because once you simplify it down, you realize you just have the exact same thing on both sides, is what that's telling you. We're not going to have one like that on the test, but it's kind of fun to see. So that's a good review for us. Okay, number 12 on the next page. Okay, this is one where they give us, when it says if h equals 2, that means they're telling us what h is. So we're not trying to do anything other than just replace h with the variable of what they told us it was going to be. So I'm going to write down the problem. 6h plus 9 is less than 20. That's right here. And then right next to it, I'm going to remember h equals 2, because they told us that. Okay, that's the only way I would know. Okay, now we can just fill in the blank, or the variable. So h equals 2, so instead of a h, I'm going to write a 2 there. I put it in parentheses because I'm multiplying. I could also write this, I'll just 6 times 2, but I just prefer this, and that's how I do it. So this means instead of 6 times h, it's 6 times 2, because we know h is 2. Plus 9 is less than 20. And once again, what it's telling us, is this true or false? Those choices are not on your paper. So that's what it's asking. Does 2 make this a true statement or a false statement? Okay, so now we have our variable replaced. We're going to just do our normal routine. So we have 6, well, let's just review this. We have parentheses. When there's only one number inside the parentheses, that just means you're multiplying, so you don't have to worry about that. We don't have any exponents. MDAS. So we're multiplying and dividing, and we do have multiplying here. We can't add until we do our multiplying. So 6 times 2 is 12, plus 9 is less than 20. So 12 plus 9 is going to be 21, is less than 20. So on that, oh, I'm sorry, I'm looking at my answer sheet. That's not true. 21 is not less than 20. So my answer needs to be false. So I'm going to put H there. So that's what if H equals 2, which word describes, Your choices are just going to be true and false. If there's other choices, I would have already gotten rid of those. Okay, on these next problems, solve each inequality. I'm sorry, we skipped number 13. And I hope you can see that. You'll have it on your paper if you can't. Which inequality is graphed at the right? So, remember we have 3. Obviously, that's our only choice. So we know it's going to be 3 is either greater than x or less than x or maybe equal to. It's not filled in. So we know it's not going to be or equal to. So let's just go ahead and cross those out. We know it's not that because this circle is open. Okay? So now, is x less than 3 or is x greater than 3? Well, let's look at our choices. Over here, you may just know from the direction of the line, and that's great, but if you're not sure, let's just pick 1. Is 1 less than 3 or greater than 3? Well, it's less than 3. 1 is a smaller number, so that means any of these numbers could be x. So I'm sorry, I kind of drew that line too long, but you know what I mean. Any of these numbers could be x. That's what this means. It doesn't have to be exact. So in this case, if x is 1, it would be less than 3. So B is going to be the correct answer. Any number I pick over here is going to be greater than 3, but my arrow does not go this way. So we don't want to do that. I don't want to say it's greater because that's not where my arrow is. Okay, sorry. So for number 14 through 18, I'm going to do all of them. You're only required to do 14, 16, and 18, but just for extra practice if you want it. Okay, let me write this down and then I'll move my paper if you can't see it too well. X plus 4 is less than 12. Okay, so when we have that, when we have an inequality, we have to be ready for the alarm to go off. So let's see if it's going to go off. We have x, 4 has been added. When something's been added to x, we need to take it away. Okay, because we don't want anything with x. We want it by itself. So now we have x plus 4 minus 4. So we just have x. We added something and then we took it right away. On this side, 12 minus 4, just a normal old wonderful subtraction problem. My alarm did not go off. Let me just make sure we understand that. I'm going to put this over here. Because what I did was subtract 4. I had a positive 4 and I subtracted 4. If I'm adding or subtracting anything, it does not matter. This will stay the same. Okay? There's no alarms. So that's good. Because if they go off, we need to know what's happening. Okay, so that was number 14, and I didn't fill my answer. X is less than 8. Now look at this. X is less than 8. X is less than 8. X is less than 8. Don't look at this and just get confused and start filling in the wrong ones. Just because they're all going to be, this is very similar. It's just the reverse of the inequality sign. Fortunately, those have different numbers, so you might not mess that up, but sometimes these answers are going to be very similar, so we need to be careful about that. Okay, number 15 is y minus 3 is less than, is greater than, greater than negative 16. I was checking to make sure my video was going, so I got distracted. Okay, y minus 3 is greater than 16. So now I need to solve that. Here, 3 has been taken away, subtracted, so I need to add it back in. There's no alarm bells for adding or subtracting with an inequality, so I'm totally fine. Minus 3 plus 3 is just going to be y is greater than negative 16 plus 3. So I know my negative is going to win because it's gone way over, and I'm only going 3 back this way. So the difference between 16 and 3 is 13, and I know it's on the negative side. So it's negative 13. So that's number 15. Sorry, I didn't write that down. So y, let's look at these. Nope, because that's the wrong sign. This is 19, that's 19. Let's look. Y is greater than negative 13. y is greater than negative 13. So it's letter D. So we need to be careful. Okay, number 16 is one you need to do for sure. 4b is greater than negative 36. On this, I'm going to divide. I have 4 b's. It's been multiplied by 4. I want to divide. I'm dividing by, let me just get my thing over here. I'm dividing by a positive number. 4. Does that work? It doesn't really fit. I'll move it. 4. And I'm dividing by 4. This is a positive number. And let me write it on both sides, because we always do that. This is a positive number. So no alarms go off. This stays exactly the same. I just bring it down. I'm sorry, I can't write on that with that pen. Bring it down, no alarms. 4 divided by 4 is just 1, so I just have 1b left. Negative 36 divided by 4 is negative. Negative divided by a positive, you can always remember this. Negative divided by a positive is going to be negative. 36 divided by 4 is 9, so it's going to be negative 9. Okay, so I have a negative 9. All of these two are positive 9, so I know it's not that. B is greater than negative 9. So carefully select my answer and write that in, sorry. Okay. Number 17, not required, but extra practice if you want it. Negative 5k is less than or equal to 20. Negative 5, woo, 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 woo. Okay, my alarm's going off because this is a negative number. I'm dividing by a negative number. That's my alarm. Dividing by a negative number or multiplying by a negative number, okay? With an inequality. So, woo, 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 woo. Okay, goes off as soon as I'm done. I have changed the sign. Reversed the sign, sorry. Okay? That's when my alarm goes off. It was less than or equal to, now it's greater than or equal to. I reversed it. So now my alarm's good. I'm ready to go. Negative 5 divided by negative 5 just gives me k. Don't do anything with that. 20 divided by negative 5. Negative divided by positive divided by negative is going to be negative. Negative 4. So on number 17, let's see. This is a negative 4. Negative 4. So B and C are not going to be right. This is greater than or equal to. Nope. It's less. That's less than or equal to. I'm sorry. But my answer is greater than or equal to. So that's going to be this one. Okay. Put that right next to it. I'm not sure you can see that, but I hope you can. K is greater than or equal to negative 4. K is greater than or equal to negative 4. Okay, so it's letter D. Okay, we got one more that is required. 18 D over negative 7. D divided by negative 7 is greater than 3. Okay, so when we're dividing by a number, we need to multiply by that number. Okay, let me make sure you can see that. So we've divided by negative 7, so we need to multiply by negative 7. Woo, 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 woo. I'm multiplying by a negative number. That's my alarm. When I have an inequality, multiplying by a negative number, I need to change, reverse my sign. Okay? Woo, 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 woo. Okay, so it goes off. Okay. Now, I've multiplied by a negative number, divided by that same negative number. Those are just going to cancel out, and I'm left with D. That's what we wanted. I have 3 times negative 7. Positive times a negative is going to be a negative. So that's going to be negative 21. So number 18, D is greater than negative 21. No, I do not want that. This is a positive 21. D is less than or equal to, I'm sorry, not equal to, sorry. D is less than negative 21. D is less than negative 21, so it's letter H. Okay. So that's your chapter 5 review. If you have any questions, let me know. Thank you.